Well, everybody, I'm Cantonese Cat here talking about GME. Hey, everybody, Cantonese Cat here. I just want to talk about GME, give you a quick update here in terms of what the heck is happening. Why did last week end up just plummeting all the way down here? And why did price get all the way from like the low 30s to high 20s? Which honestly, to me, like this is nothing when it comes to a stock with supposedly great volatility. Like that's a yawn. Like I don't know, but like I'm not even gonna wake up for this. I don't care. This kind of like I like to say, you know how you might be on X, formerly known as Twitter. There's something that we used to go around FinX or FinTweet, whatever you call it. Is whenever somebody's trying to be like a, how do you say that? Trying to be sarcastic, they would say something like, "Oh, if you like the stock when price is up here, you really love it here." And the truth is, yeah, if I like the stock up here in the 30s, in the low 30s, I really like it. I really love it a lot more when it's down to the high 20s or even mid 20s. I would really like it a lot more. The question would be, let me get rid of that label here for the post op there so I can actually show you the fit level. The question would be like, okay, so what should I do? I don't care. I'm DCing it through anywhere around this range between 0.382 and 0.5. I still think this is a pretty decent buy because right now, like this is still a higher low compared to over here, right? I think right now we're still trying to form a little bit of a higher low here. And right now, it's only been, just one day of trading day so far is holding up, like that level is holding up pretty well. Could it go all the way down to $25? Yeah, it can, because the 0.382 level is down here, but I don't think it has to. The reason why I don't think it has to is because before it gets there are a lot of support levels here that I'm seeing here on the weekly and the daily, one of which is the bull market support band, right? It basically just bounced off the bull market support band here today, almost perfectly. And also I want to remind you that the volume is really pathetic from this big giant red candle over here. This volume doesn't even cover the volume with this candle over here so far. So there's actually not much commitment in terms of selling. And the entire uptrend here has more buying volume here compared to this candle over here. So I think that there's a little bit of manipulation, if you will. There's a lot, kind of like a secret behind the scene buying pressure here, if you will. I think that it's finding support where it's supposed to find support at, and the volume also is telltale. The other thing is also telltale sign. Just look at Ichimoku cloud here on the weekly. You can see the bullish cross is still there. Whenever price just kind of get up here, it might get a little bit exhausted here. Didn't really touch the bottom of the cloud over here around 35 like I thought it would. Just ended up kind of stopping short of it at the fib level that I was showing you here earlier, right? And just decided to just come back and test support, right? Where is it finding support here so far? Well, it's finding support here on the weekly Kijun right here. So that tells me if this is actually the ultimate support, if we actually end up bouncing from here, is going to challenge the cloud up here around $30 again, which means that to me, I'm going to continue to try to accumulate here around the zone. If price end up dipping down below to the 25s, I'm gonna do my best to try and DC and buy more. And that to me, like to buy like the low 30s or high 20s, mid 20s, to me it really doesn't matter because I think that this is still overall, if you look at the monthly chart, sure, you're still underneath a lot of these different resistance here, but so were we last time before we just pumped out of there, right? I just think that the 20-month moving average is a telltale sign here on the Bollinger Band here. You can still see the Bollinger Band is still more or less still expanding here on the monthly. You can still see that it's crawling up, right? I can't deny that this is a trend change. I can't deny that price is currently still on the upper part of the Bollinger Band, which tells me that this is still on the bull side. I still can't ignore the fact that the Bollinger Band is still expanding to the upside and downside. I still can't deny the fact that this is generally what happens before a more parabolic move up happens, right? The only thing is that currently you do have a little bit of a bearish engulfing candle here. And right now we have maybe about another week and a half of trading left. So yeah, currently it's not a great look. But first of all, we still have another week and a half of trading left. Second of all, this bearish engulfing candle is really not much volume here at all. Like there's really not much committal selling over here, right? So I just think that overall there's still very much of a higher time frame shift in terms of trying to move things up higher here over time, right? So I'm not going to let this really scare me here. If you look at the 2-week, I'm going to put the Ichimoku cloud here on the 2-week. On the 2-week, it broke down underneath the Ichimoku cloud. You know, it didn't really hold up here. I guess the trend just got a little bit exhausted. Guess where it's finding support at right now? It's finding support here, right here at the Tenkan, right? There's just a lot of confluence around here, around the 27s, to feel pretty good about. On the daily, what did it do? It broke down into the cloud, right? And it's getting support here close to the bottom of the cloud over here, right? So I think we're still got a lot of, you know, different kinds of things here. Here on the daily, you also get a big, you know, buy order block right here, and price bounce right at the order block. Just a lot of things just kind of making you feel a little bit more suspicious in terms of what it's trying to do. Looking at the Bollinger Band, it's touched the low Bollinger Band here again, but so far you got a pretty nice hammer bottom looking candle over here. So I think that this downtrend doesn't have to go down much further. If it does, I think that 25, you know, somewhere around there might be kind of like the bottom. So I'm going to try to just DCA through this range over here. It's still ranging sideways. That's what it is. I think that if you pull up the RSI here, you put the RSI here, you can see how the uptrend here was on a little bit of an exhaustive uptrend. And this downtrend over here is basically creating a big giant hidden bullish divergence where price has gone up a lot from where it was in like $20 to 27, and RSI has just basically been completely reset. You know, I think this whole thing right here is just basically setting you up to kind of take off from here, right? If you're also looking at the 1 hour chart here, you can also see that something interesting thing is happening here. Is you can see how price kind of gone down here, but RSI has just been going up. I really think a lot of things are telling us that we're getting close to the end over here. Again, price can certainly drop lower. I'm not saying that. It could even go down back a lot lower. Who knows? All of this stuff is happening on like no volume. It can really just chop here and chop through here forever, and I don't even know when it's going to get done. But the entire thing is happening on low volume. I like the fact that when you have buy volume over here, it's been increasing, and we have sell volume here is kind of declining. This tells me that this is more or less still a reaccumulation range over here. So to me, I smell a lot of you know, suspicious behavior here. You can also see how there's something called unbalanced volume. Basically, it just kind of tells you that, you know, whenever you have down volume, how you say that, if you see any kind of divergences here, which I do see a little bit of divergence, you see how price kind of going down from here, going down, but on balance volume actually going up, right? That means that the downtrend here is just non-committal. I think the divergence here tells you that over the last couple of weeks or so, there's some secret buying pressure behind the scene that's not being reflected here based on the way that the volume signatures are showing, because of this price kind of going down here and on balance volume still going up. I think they're still buying behind the scene, and they might not necessarily show up on even like well indicators like the MCDX plus. Sometimes it just doesn't show, right? The interesting thing is, yeah, you have a downtrend here, you have like a little bit of increased retail momentum here, but there's still a significant less amount of retail momentum here compared to what it was before, right? And I think that the unbalanced volume divergence is telling me that I think we do have some hidden buying pressure behind the scene here. And you're also getting a lot of these kind of like hammered candles. You're also finding a big support zone, both in terms of the daily, in terms of the weekly, in terms of the 2-week. There's just a lot of confluence here for me to, like, you know, not ignore, and also the support band as support. Just a confluence of support zone here that I feel pretty good about GME. I'm going to keep buying. I'm going to keep DCAing. And again, price to me, like I love it when it was in like the 32 zone. I really love it right now is in like the mid 20s. Maybe that's how I cope. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just kind of talking out of my butt. But I'm going to keep doing what I need to do here. And you do you. All right. So I'm going to keep this short here. Take care. Bye.